Wild behind the vehicle. If a good nade is thrown, it might just drop him or at least get rid of the vehicle. Wild's gone. Now, you've got the solo from Weibo. It's Order. He's looking down on Falcons. He's going to manage to drop route. Like I said, Order might be able to do it, but it's not going to happen. The crowd favorite team, Falcons, finally back in the winner's circle.
They find the elims, they find the shutdown. Team Falcons able to get a chicken dinner right towards the end. Weibo, they are into the smash point zone as well at the top of the tables, and 3 teams now stand atop the pack.
And Weibo is officially 1 point ahead of Alpha Gaming, putting them in second place. It's been a 2-horse race for the majority of this tournament, for the majority of grand finals, but finally Weibo has put themselves in a position to become champions themselves. But it comes down to one more map, one more Miramar to decide our new champion, PMWC 2025. A lot riding on the line and only one more opportunity to achieve greatness. We're going to take another break. When we come back, the final game of PMWC 2025 will be upon us.
Better other 8 teams that will make it to the grand finals. The rewards are the same as the group stage. During the grand finals, you must try and predict the ultimate champion. Just predicting will grant 30 tokens, and a correct prediction will grant 400 tokens. If you're unsure about your predictions, you can let your friends' predictions guide you. Find someone reliable, copy their predictions, and wait to be rewarded. The 3 prediction rounds take place on July 27th, July 30th, and August 3rd at 10:45 UTC 0. Rewards are issued the second day after each stage ends at 4 AM UTC 0. You'll receive esports tokens based on your prediction results. Note, esports tokens don't expire and can be used in future esport events. Who do you think?
They just got in. Order clutching it up at the end. I was thinking, actually, if they maybe got a few more points earlier, maybe Order can clutch it. Unfortunately, they don't get the entirety of that match. They do lose at the end to Falcons. But that fight versus Power, I was not sure how that was going to go down because that was a risky push. But luckily enough, they get the full reset, allowing them to then take a fight against 4 Thrives, against the side of even Alvov or Trigo. Yeah. It was a risky one, but now they're in the Smash Zone, meaning they could snatch it away in this very last upcoming game.
Right, that's an important thing to actually talk about here, right? Because we are down to the last game now. That technically, if one of these 3 teams could smash and be able to get themselves the victory here. However, if that doesn't happen, Seven, the one with the most points will be the champion here at PMWC.
Yeah, with the way the Yangon has been playing throughout the whole day, we got to wait and see what the overall is going to be looking like, because this team has been consistent. They just haven't been able to get the win. Remember what happened yesterday, though? This was a team that did end up getting a win with 12 eliminations, so it could happen here. And they went back to playing how they usually play. They went back to playing Edge and also hunting down teams. That is the YG I want to see going into this last game.
I mean, we're getting so hype here, 7 if during that game. It's like, actually, they're going back to playing the Edge instead of the center. This is what rewarded you with so many wins in these finals at PMWC. They're going back to the basics that was so successful in the past. Yangon Galacticos here on Miramar, they had a really good rotate. Unfortunately, I think you mentioned it, Kalaris, a little bit earlier. Lack of scouting. Maybe they could have a little bit of a better entry point on the eastern side of the circle, maybe go entirely up north. But here didn't quite work out, and Nongshim Red Force were able to actually put an end to the reign of dominance here of Yangon Galacticos.
I actually also like their push onto Nongshim for a different reason, Max, is because Nongshim and Thundertalk were fighting it out, and actually Nongshim is the more dangerous team to win out of that situation. If Thundertalk had won over Nongshim, historically speaking, over the last 2 days, 3 days nearly now, we haven't seen anything else from them. So for the rest of the lobby, they're not really looking like a very dangerous team to go up against. Nongshim, on the other hand, particularly today, have Yangon want to take out Nongshim.
Getting ready for our final game, trying to figure out exactly how they're going to approach things. Let's take a look at the overalls. Let's get a lay of the land here. Oh my days. Weibo moves into second place as well as being able to move into the smash zone. Alpha is hot on their heels, but that takeover is huge. And now Yangon, 150 points. It would be poetic, Max, if we saw them get a win and win on points overall, but we will see how this goes.
The dream is still alive for Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah.
But actually, I want to take our attention to Weibo Gaming and Alpha Gaming. They don't need to smash to win this. All you need is an early elimination onto Yangon Galacticos. Weibo would need 11 points, 12 points for Alpha Gaming to at least tie, maybe try and overtake, because you can't win the tiebreaker because they have 4 chicken dinners. And
like this at all. I've seen it too many events. Say, at least it's only the final game. Maybe they can actually we've had enough of this. It's time to get back into second place. That first fire they need under.
Back at the coming
Or move. Are right there. And whilst we're taking a look at that, before we go into our last game, let's do some predictions for the champion. We're going to start with Max Man.
Oh, can I go last?
Oh.
No,
Does
you
he
can't.
dare?
I can't pick AP. I've done it too many. I'm going Weibo. I'm going Weibo on this one. China, let's go.
APG, yeah. It's gotta be.
I started with them. I'm going to finish with them for the final day. APG.
All right, and I never give predictions, but we've got to give some Yangon love as well here. Let's get this a-rolling, ladies and gentlemen. We have one final game. You can see all of these players getting ready to go. He's going to elbow drop them into oblivion here for this one. Those are the predictions coming out from the desk as all these teams are getting ready to go. I'm not sure that they're ready to jump straight into this game just yet, Seven. So we do have a few moments before we get to this, but it's always nice to get some predictions out of there just before what is a bit of an insane situation here, Nepturo.
Can I just
Chicken dinner than Alpha Gaming, if I'm not mistaken, having earned the back-to-back that they've been able to find today. So they are sat on 2 chicken dinners. 139, of course, that will be the tiebreaker, unless Alpha Gaming win. But then it's a non-factor because they win via the smash ruling. Oh, there's so many interlocking rules. I love logistical, bureaucratic nightmares on points tables. It's what I live for.
And just to confirm, it is Weibo with 2 wins, Alpha Gaming with 1. So something to take effect a little bit later on, but all eyes, of course, on these 3 great rosters. You know, you got one starting off relatively hot, of course, being Weibo, APG getting a first shot, but that also puts a target on their back, right? Shots are fired, teams are getting active, which might be in the back of the mind of the other rosters thinking, I want to third party this because this is our last chance to elevate ourselves up the leaderboard.
Absolutely. There's a lot of money that's mixed in the middle of the tables. Obviously, the 3 teams at the top have taken a lot of points, but the points gap between teams like Regnum Karya all the way down to Team Secret, right? So 4th to 12th. That drop-off could be there, right? And that is a pretty sizable chunk. 4th place is $120,000, and then you go down to 12th at 45. With a single game, they can change things around, earn more, drop down. It's a lot of wiggle room here.
Without a doubt. And Regnum Karya, they have been the boogeyman of, well, APG over the past couple of maps. This time around, they take down Krypton from Alter Egos. A guy that wants to stay alive doesn't act as well. Alter Egos thrives, maybe even Regnum Karya themselves. Regnum Karya taking down one from Alter Egos, and in my opinion, albeit outside of Rosemary, that puts Regnum Karya in an even safer spot.
Cypher. Time goes on. Coming off of a chicken dinner. Decided to predict them for the tournament win. Not because, but because they're not team spirit. And of course, Netura loves team spirit.
This is a big...
Adding to that tally is great. They can keep contributing to their team to be able to try and pick that one up. You hope that they can do it. I'm sure there's plenty of fans at the arena who want the Falcons to do it as well, to help out on that club championship tally.
Love seeing the fans. Hey, peace to you. Great to see you. Getting excited, getting happy. Some of them getting loud. Yes, let's get it going. The final game. Gangon Galactica start to move in. This is very typical of their style, but again, you've got Falcons who might keep them at bay, and if they choose to drop south, which is their typical game plan, Fourth arrives right in front of them.
They're moving on in on the west side towards San Martin for the Falcons. On Alpha Gaming, Yangon Galacticos to make their appearances. Of course, Yangon, all things considered, this zone. Yangon Galacticos playing out on the south side of El Pozo and will navigate the bubbly terrain there. He bobbles his way forwards. It's difficult. I hate driving over this terrain. It's so confusing. You never know if you're going to flip your vehicle or not.
From now on, when I'm driving down a bumpy road, I'm just going to bubble over the potholes. That's right. That's my strategy.
Yep.
John, I like it. New terminology. They decide to go up north, that's great for them. And north really has no competition if they decide to commit towards water treatment, which could be a great spot depending on how quickly they get over there, but there's a lot of terrain and a lot of distance between them and that. APG also staying south. They're going to be in blue currently, and they have a free route towards the north. Both rosters, I believe, currently waiting for this next stage to pop, and it does encompass water treatment, which again opens that up maybe for Hora, who's going to be the closest. They can overtake that. YG might be able to move up, but for APG, I mean, so tightly contested. Yes, a free route in, but they've got to go in between Fourth Thrives, E Arena, and then ultimately, of course, Noxian Red Force, Fireflux, so many rosters, and the same thing in order.
Maybe split right now. The question is, how long can Weibo hold? Falcons going to push in on the north. Regnum Kaya from the other side as
on that bit from the northern side. Curious where Gangon Galacticus choose APG. This is going to be a tough rotate for them. I'm genuinely getting worried at this moment. So any of those, and for me, I'm
here. You see two match over the top. Weibo, we're going to try and hold on the map.
again.
Alpha on the west side. Look at this road. Right. Potentially back towards Yangon Galacticos here. This fight feels inevitable. But three teams here and now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense, right? You go back, what, several maps? You can say, stay away from each other. Magnets drawn, but the good point drives next. So it's about the ship. The question is, where does it go? But that's not too bad. But outer edge, and APG still needs to go forward. They go north, they go into YG. If they go south, they go into Fourth Rise. If they go east, it's straight into Noxian Red Force. And Smile is scouting, but I hope he doesn't get too carried away. He's jumped out.
Oh, Doc has been spotted, I believe, out on this western side. Gonna have to be careful, and Smile gets Doc down. He's going to find that knock, and it is. And time again.
For Alpha Gaming, a chance still remains
On them that are likely to Doc hops out of, I mean,
yeah, hit and run. Hit and run.
It's disappointing.
Backs away, gets away, and it is. It is so disappointing. I know Seven is fuming right now because he's been setting this narrative, the docketing duck, going up by himself. I know doing the research, go back to try and carry the torch for Alpha Gaming to take this championship, but he's surrounded by everybody. There's a little bit of space, but his chances of winning this are now slim to none. However, it would be one of the most miraculous comebacks in PubG Mobile history if Xyal can somehow take this victory. For Alpha Gaming fans, I know you want to keep the hope alive, so I'll at least say that narrative for you.
Okay, I think it is very much an outside chance here. I like this regroup from Weibo. Remember, I was talking about how you can hold that 2-2 split because the teams around you aren't likely to move. With this circle shifting down, they regroup from that east side because they know teams like DRX on their position, Thundertalk, Alter Ego, Aura on that north side, likely to want to try and take that compound on the corner from them. So they regroup, recoalesce, and play on as for the only team in the top 3 with a chance of smashing that has 4 players alive. But Yangon Galacticos, 3 players on their side, they also still have a chance.
Yes, that's right. SaCloud will take the advanced position on the compound. That will give free reign to Romeo and Renat to potentially move up. The only team around them is Hora. Depending on how this zone ends up rotating, maybe we do see a clash between Yangon Galacticos as well as the Weibo roster, but you still got to appreciate where Weibo is at. 4 members still alive. They now are joined together. There is no more of a split, and they're staying tried and true to what has worked for them, taking center zone. 4 Thrives versus Power. What's at stake with this fight? Well, 4 Thrives are currently 5 points away from catching up to Regnum Karya, which would put them in a better spot for more money, knocking them down. But it's not a guarantee. 4 Thrives are currently at 0 eliminations. They need to silence Power and take down the remaining 3 members. That would put them within striking distance of apexing Regnum Karya. But if they don't and they fall short, Regnum Karya will stay in 4th place, but they're only going to be just there because the solo is last alive. Hora starts to rotate over. Regnum Karya has Loxy just up ahead, but Hora, all eyes on them as they're taking advantage.
On the east flank here against Loxy, but Yangon Galacticos are moving in on the north side towards potentially Weibo Gaming's compound. Another fight that could dictate the pace of this tournament. On the north edge, they could wipe each other out. Oh, Loxy does go down. Regnum Karya taken down with 112 points on the tables. 4 Thrives could definitely leapfrog that.
That's it. 4 Thrives can do this. Fireflux have fought hard throughout the entirety of this tournament, but I believe everything is starting to come to an end as 2 players are last alive. DRX starts to push up. Solus taken down as well, I believe, through the smoke. No, excuse me, he gets full back up. I thought the shots connected well. He'll continue to fight hard, but Kix wants to take him down. For Fireflux, a chance maybe to pass Team Secret, get up into top 12 is here, and Solus does hit a nice shot needed, but he drops down as a nade takes him out. Scarface, the last hope and dream to move Team Secret up.
A flush onto Solus there, and now Scarface looking to try and hold it for Fireflux. On that south side. It's unlikely that he gets too much further into this one, and the tournament is starting.